Hi and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm just gonna talk about these pastels to start with, but I am going to talk about them in a completely different video because I do have some other pastels come in, so I'm gonna do like a pastel video. I haven't used pastels since college. Things have come on a long way since I was at college, which was many years ago. And I've watched a lot of videos of people talking about pan pastels, but also the unison pastels. Pastels kind of put me off because I don't like the mess. I don't like powder and, and stuff everywhere, like mess. So it's sort of, and I don't really like getting my hands too messy with like things like charcoal and pastel. Don't mind paint necessarily. I think it's just like the pastel and charcoal. It kind of puts me off. Anyway, that's a little bit of a ramble. Anyway, I've seen lots of people talk about pan pastels and unison pastels and also other pastels. Anyway, unison, I'm sort of a bit put off by the mess, but I bought 5 here, and I'm in various shades. And I've also bought these pan pastels. Now, I made a bit of a mistake in that I've ended up ordering 3 of the same colour. So I've only opened one of them in this Payne's Grey tint. And then I bought a Payne's Grey. Now, I'm a bit disappointed because these 2 here have arrived broken. Which is a bit of a shame because I was expecting them to be solid like that. I know these soft pastel, but I'm a bit disappointed that they're broken. This one obviously doesn't matter as much because I've got 2 others because I've bought 3 accidentally. So hopefully I like them. Whereas that one I've only bought 1 in this colour, and I'm just a bit disappointed. Anyway, I have more of the pan pastels coming in the little tool that you can use with them. So that's why I'm going to do a separate pastel video where I'll look at the pan pastels and the unison in that video. So I'm not going to talk about them now. I'll save that for another video. But yeah, that's a little ramble, but I have bought them as part of this order. I did quite a large order on Jackson's Art after not buying anything for absolutely months. Apart from those watercolours that I showed. Anyway, I wanted to buy a few more bits, so I'm just going to show these now and do a little bit of swatches. Ecoline brush pens. I've got 738 and 728. I think basically cold grey and warm grey light. Cold grey light and warm grey light even. A Tombow brush pen in N49, and I got 2 pencils. Derwent Drawing Solway Blue and Cavendish Luminance. What's that? Olive Brown 50%, which I couldn't see in my pencils. I didn't think I had. I also got some Neocolor 2s in this little box here. Pencil sharpener. So, Neocolor 2s, I've got Sahara Yellow, Light Cobalt Blue, Sepia, Olive Brown and Silver Grey. I've got 2 art graphs. I only have 1 art graph in Sanguine. I think that's how you pronounce it. And I wanted to do like the art graph, but I wanted to get a couple more so I can use them a bit more and have a bit more versatility. I don't think they do like loads of shades, but I wanted to get a sepia because I do like a sepia and black carbon. And then a couple of gouache, the acrylic gouache. So these are the Holbein acrylic gouache, pale peach and ash rose, and then this is the Turner acrylic gouache in, what colour is it in? dark yellow. I've not used, I already have some of the Holbein acrylic gouache and I do like them, but I've not used the Turner one. However, I've heard good things from videos that I've watched. And then I've got 3 watercolours. The Core, I want to say that's pronounced. That's a Q-O-R, Core, I'm presuming. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. Watercolour, this is Ardoise Grey. Apologies for my horrible pronunciation. Another Holbein Artist Watercolour in Shadow Green. And then this is Jackson's Artist Watercolour in the Neutral Tint. So yeah, I'm going to swatch them out. I'll probably speed up the swatching and then I'll come back and talk to you at the end. Hi, I'm back. This is the next day and I just thought I'd go through like the swatches that I did. Didn't get time to film this when I finished doing these last night. So anyway, I just thought I'd show these. Also, the 3 other pan pastels that I ordered arrived today. One of them broken, worse than the other ones. Just show that here. I'm not going to go into it much because I'm going to talk about it in the next video about pastels. So the next video is going to be about the pan pastels and the unisons that I bought as part of this big order. So anyway, so I've got these Ecolines, warm grey light, cold grey light, and the Tombow N49, which looks like quite like a French grey pencil because it's like a brown grey. I think these will be really good, particularly for tonal work. Ecolines are really good as putting down background colours, backgrounds and shades for sketches and things like that. The Neo colours, all lovely. Particularly like the olive brown. Sepia, I'm really loving using like sepia and things as well for like shade and dark, showing like dark tones in like landscapes and things like that. It's a bit more softer than a black, for example, and that's a nice shade. And then I've just got the 2 pencils there. Solway Blue is very much like so that's just the floorboard in the studio. It's very much like Derwent Light Fast Mist, I think, just looking at it. So potentially wouldn't need that if you've already got that shade. But I do like, it's a very nice pale muted blue shade. And then I've got these Art Crafts Tailors blocks, which you can use wet and dry, and you can work on them work on them wet, which I did there. This is sepia. So it's interesting how you get these different shades. So this is more like an ochre brown colour compared to that, which is more of a dark brown, almost like a raw umber shade. But that is really nice. I want to use the Art Crafts more, which is why I bought a couple more of them. And I've got the carbon black, which is nice as well. Be great for doing tonal value and things like that. Things that I've been messing around with in my sketchbooks, basically. These are the acrylic gouache, so the Holbein acrylic gouache in Ash Rose and Pale Peach. You can use them more dense there, so like straight out of the tube with a tiny bit of water just to make it blendable on the page, or you can really wash them out and you get this beautiful like watercolor effect, but it's matte. Obviously acrylic gouache is different to traditional gouache. With traditional gouache, yeah, I think you can re-wet it because it's like watercolor, whereas acrylic gouache, because it's acrylic gouache, it's permanent on the page basically. So I think out of the 2, I prefer the Ash Rose. That's very pretty there. Pale Peach will come in handy though. And then this is the Turner Acryl Gouache. So again, another acrylic gouache, but from a different brand. I've not tried the Turner ones before, and I really like this. The Turner ones I think are more like muted colours. So I'm going to look at more of what shades they've got. But I like this. It's like an olivey green, yellow, dark yellow, if you can see there. And I think these 2 go really well together. But all 3 work well, but I like those 2 together. Then I've got these watercolours. This is not the best paper, I would say, for watercolours. It's a bit like a cartridge paper in this. It's not a branded sketchbook. I bought it from a shop in York, like a stationery art shop type thing place, even in York. So it's not got a brand or anything. It might have been something they've made themselves or handmade, and it's a bit like cartridge paper. So it doesn't have any texture to it. And sometimes textured paper, like a cold press paper, shows up granulation better and shows watercolours better than on cartridge paper. But because I was just doing all of the swatches, I've done it in here. But this is a lovely shade, this Jackson's neutral tint. Then we've got the core, I think you pronounce it core, Ardoise or Ardoise grey. Absolutely, that pronunciation was terrible. However we pronounce that, this lovely grey shade, absolutely lovely. Will come in handy for various sketchbook work. And this Holbein Shadow Green, which is a gorgeous deep green shade, and I've seen a couple of people talk about that as a favourite shade, so I'm really happy with them. And then those three go really well together as well. My next video will be the pastel video, where I look at the pan pastels that I've ordered, the pan pastels, sorry, that came with this haul and or order, and the 3 that came separately along with the tools that I ordered. So I'll look at them in the next video, which I hope you will enjoy. Okay, see you then. Bye.